Picasso's first day. Picasso the penguin waddled into his classroom. It was his first day of kindergarten. The teacher walked in and said, "I'm Mrs. Willow."
Hi, Mrs. Willow.
All of the students said.
What do teachers teach?
Picasso asked. She handed him a book. "We teach you to read." "And we teach you to spell," Mrs. Willow said. Mrs. Willow wrote Picasso on the chalkboard. "We teach you to add and subtract," Mrs. Willow said. Mrs. Willow wrote 1 + 1 = 2 on the chalkboard. "We teach you how to play games," Mrs. Willow said. Picasso jumped excitedly and asked,
What else?
"We teach you to raise your hand before you speak." Picasso raised his hand and waved it until she nodded.
Can you teach me where the playground is?
Picasso pleaded. Before Mrs. Willow could reply, Picasso was already halfway there. Picasso's grocery list. Picasso waddled into the grocery store carrying a list. "How can I help you?" the grocer asked. Picasso held up his list.
I have a grocery list.
The grocer read, "Bread, milk, broccoli, and eggs." Picasso followed the grocer to the dairy section. The grocer put milk and eggs in Picasso's basket. Picasso crossed off milk and eggs from the list. Picasso followed the grocer to the vegetable section. The grocer put broccoli in Picasso's basket. Picasso crossed broccoli off his list. Picasso followed the grocer to the bakery section. The grocer put bread in Picasso's basket and said, "Done." Picasso shook his head.
Mom forgot something on the list.
What did she forget?" asked the grocer.
Candy!
Picasso said. The grocer laughed. "She didn't forget you, naughty penguin." Picasso's Uncle Pete. Picasso dragged a big garbage bag along the street. His Uncle Pete was the new trash man. Picasso jumped up and down when the truck arrived.
Uncle Pete!
Picasso said excitedly. Suddenly, Picasso smelled something really terrible. "It doesn't smell pretty, does it?" Uncle Pete asked him.
So, why do you do this job?
Picasso asked. "What would happen if nobody did it?" Uncle Pete asked. Picasso imagined streets filled with garbage.
Ugh, the smell would be awful.
Picasso said, wrinkling his nose. Picasso imagined big flies carrying away his lunch.
There would be a lot of flies everywhere.
Picasso said.